The peace ring had not heard a siren in 1,000 years. Not a drill, not a test. A real alarm that made the floor lights turn red and the air feel suddenly thin. Commander Maya Reyes stood at the wide glass window of Dock 12 and watched. Space turned dark with shadows. They were not asteroid shadows. They moved with purpose. They moved like a pack. The first ship slid out of the jump scar and blocked half the stars. Its hull looked like black bone. Long ridges ran along it like a spine. Its engines burned a cold blue, like fire without heat. Then a second ship arrived. Then a third. Then 100. The peacerings.com voice system tried to stay polite. Unknown fleet, please identify. The fleet answered by forming a perfect circle around the station. Like a noose, MAYAS. Throat went dry. The Peace Council had invited only one delegation today. The Cathari Dominion. The last time the Cathari had shown force like this was in the War of Ashan Skies. 1,000 years ago. Her bracelet vibrated. A short message flashed on her wrist. War declaration incoming. Stay at Dock 12. Do not speak first. Maya looked behind her. Human officers, technicians, and civilian staff were moving with fast, trained hands, sealing doors and checking screens. No one screamed. No one ran in circles. They moved like they had expected this. A soft hiss came from the airlock. The Cathari envoy was arriving early. Maya swallowed. The Cathari were tall and heavy, with scale plates that caught the light like dark glass. Their eyes were gold and steady. Their voices always carried the sound of gravel. Like a mountain deciding to speak, the airlock door opened. A Cathari guard stepped out first, holding long staffs that were also weapons. Then the envoy entered Archon Vark. His crest was higher than most. His armor was white bone with black seams. A symbol burned on his chestplate, a circle split by a claw mark. The old war sign. Maya had seen his face on history wars. It did not belong here, inside a station that was built to never see war again. Archon Vark looked at Maya as if she were a tool on a table. Then he spoke, not to her but to the station itself. Peace ring, he said. The 1,000-year peace is over. The words landed like a hammer. Maya forced her voice steady. Archon Vark, you are entering a neutral station. Under he lifted one clawed hand. The gesture was calm, almost bored. Do not recite the old lines, Vark said. The old lines are dead. A new voice joined them from behind. Mawaya, Captain Elias Grant, walked in, wearing a simple navy jacket and no armor. He did not hurry. He did not glare. He looked like a teacher who had walked into a noisy classroom. Archon Vark, Elias said. Welcome back. It has been a long time. Varkh's golden eyes narrowed. Your species does not die when it should. Elias smiled, small and polite. We have a habit of not doing what people expect. Vark turned his head slightly, as if listening to something far away. Then he spoke again, louder. The station's translation systems echoed his words through every hole. People of the Peace Ring, Vark said. Hear the law of the Cathari. Hear the right of blood. Hear the end of patience. Maya felt the station tremble as the fleet outside changed formation. A line of ships angled toward the docking arms. Their weapon ports opened like mouths. Vark kept speaking. We came to retrieve our son's body, he said. Your kind returned a box of ash. You called it an accident. You lied. MAYAS. Stomach dropped. A missing body. A dead prince. This was not random. This was a spark placed on dry fuel. Elias did not look surprised. He just asked, which son? Vark's jaw tightened. Prince Corvin. He died in human space. He died under human watch. Maya remembered the report. A Cathari ship had drifted near the mining edges of human orbital Sector 9. Their life pods had been empty. Their core was burned clean. The official word had been reactor fault. The Peace Council had accepted it. The Cathari had gone silent until today. Vark stepped closer. He was close enough that Maya could see small cracks in his scales, like old heat scars. You will kneel, Vark said. You will return what you stole. You will accept war, and you will lose. Outside the window, one of the Cathari ships fired a warning beam. It cut past the station's edge and scorched a chunk of junk metal into glowing dust. Maya's fingers curled into a fist. Then she heard it. A sound behind her. A laugh. One laugh, then another. It was not panic laughing. It was not madness. It was the kind of laugh someone makes when a person tries to scare them with a toy knife. Maya turned her head and saw a young technician covering his mouth. Eyes wide, shoulders shaking. An older officer leaned on a console, laughing under his breath like he had been holding it in for weeks. Even Captain Elias made a quiet sound, halfway between a sigh and a chuckle. Archenvach stared at them, his voice dropped low. You mock me? Elias looked up, still calm. No, we are not mocking you. Then why do you laugh? Elias rubbed his forehead like he had a headache. Because this is the worst way you could have started. Vach's guards tightened their grip on their staffs. You do not fear war. Elias turned to Maya. Commander, please, open Channel 9. Maya blinked. Channel 9 is internal. Elias nodded. Exactly. Maya touched her bracelet. A list of channels flashed. She selected Channel 9. A new voice filled the small space. It was deep, slow, and warm, like thunder far away. Hello, little humans, the voice said. Is it time? Maya felt her heart punch her ribs. That voice did not belong to any person on the pace ring. Archenvach froze, his eyes widened by a fraction, which was the Cathari version of shock. He whispered one word, rough and thin. Azrak. Maya had heard the name only once, in a sealed history briefing. Not a person, not a ship, a dragon, not a myth, not a story. A living starbeast that had once ended wars by burning fleets into glass. The voice spoke again. Calm, Archenvach, it said. You smell like old Firevach's throat moved. Azrak the Ancient, you are bound to the peace. Why, yes. Azrak said. I am bound to the peace. That is why I'm listening. Elias's smile faded. He spoke with respect now, like he was speaking to a storm. Azrak the Cathari are declaring war. They claim we killed their prince. They demand we kneel. A pause, then Azrak said. Did you kill the small-scale on? Elias answered without hesitation. No. Maya's chest tightened. She believed him, but belief did not change fleets outside. Azrak's voice grew colder. Archenvach, did you bring war into my house? Vach stood stiff. The peace is a tool. It served its time. The humans are an insult. They laugh. They do not bow. Elias's eyes flicked to Maya. He whispered, this is where it goes wrong for him. Maya whispered back, why are we so calm? Elias did not look away from Vach. Because we did not spend 1,000 years sleeping. Vach lifted his chin. Azrak, the humans broke the blood law. Stand as you did before. Burn them. Azrak did not answer right away. When it finally spoke, the words came slowly. I remember the last war. I remember the screams in the void. I remember your fathers begging me to stop. Varkh's claws flexed. This time will be different. Azrak's voice turned sharp. No, it said. This time, you will learn. Maya's screens flickered. A new signal appeared on every sensor panel at once. It was not a ship. It was not a fleet. It was a presence. Outside the window, space rippled like water. A long shape moved in the darkness. It was huge. Too huge to be real. It looked like a dragon made of night and stars, with glowing lines along its body like rivers of blue light. The Cathari fleet shifted. Their tight circle broke as ships pulled back, suddenly unsure. For a moment they looked like frightened. Animals's mouth went dry. It's real. Elias spoke softly. Told you. Archenvach stared at the moving shape outside. Pride fought fear on his face. He forced his voice steady. Azrak, you are not human. You owe them nothing. Azrak's voice came through channel9.com again, almost amused. True, it said. I owe them nothing. Maya felt her hope crack. Then Azra continued. But they fed me. Vach's head snapped back toward Elias. You fed the ancients. Elias shrugged. You've left it alone for 1,000 years. Someone had to check on the old neighbor. Maya finally understood the laughter. The Cathari had walked in with threats, not knowing humans had done something quietly impossible. They had made friends with the thing everyone feared. Varkh's voice rose. Humans are trickers. They use gifts as chains. Azrak's answer was simple. No, it said. They talked to me. Maya remembered the stories about first contact. Humans always talked. To rocks. To machines. To animals that did not answer. They talked anyway. Elias folded his hands behind his back. Archon, you brought a fleet to a peace station. That breaks the treaty. Azrak is the treaty's witness. Vach hissed, angry. The treaty is words. Elias nodded. And words are why we are still here. Vach stepped closer again, trying to regain control. "The prince is dead," he said. "The blood law must be paid." Maya spoke before she could stop herself. "Then find who killed him." Vark looked at her like she was dust. "Who will give me a human life for HIS?" Ilya shook his head. "No." The station fell quiet. Outside, the dragon shape drifted closer. Like a mountain deciding where to fall, Vark's guards lifted their weapons. Mark's hand hovered near her sidearm, even though she knew his sidearm meant nothing here. Elias spoke, still calm. "Archon Vark, you believe humans are weak because we laugh? You think laughter means we do not take danger seriously?" Vark snarled. "It means you are fools." Elias's eyes hardened. "No. It means we already faced the worst parts of ourselves, and we survived. We learned what fear does to a mind. We learned what anger builds. We learned what pride destroys." Vark's lip pulled back from sharp. "You are small. You are soft." Elias turned slightly and nodded to Maya. Maya opened a secure data link and pushed a file to the main screen in front of Varkap. It showed a ship, Cathari design. But the damage pattern was wrong. Not reactor failure. Not human weapons. It was cut from the inside. The file included one image that made Maya's stomach turn. Claw marks on metal. Cathari claws, but wild, uneven, like an animal. In pain, Vark stared. His voice went low. "This is forged," Elias said. "It's not. We found the wreck in the drift fields. We did not show it to the council because we knew you would come to war before you came to truth." Varkh's eyes moved fast across the data. "Who did this?" Elias answered. "Not us." Azrak spoke again. "I smell a third hand." Maya swallowed. "There's someone else." Elias nodded. "There's always someone else." Varkh's pride cracked just enough for fear to slip through. "Who?" Elias tapped another file. A symbol appeared, a thin spiral inside a square. Maya had seen it in black market reports. The violent brokers, smugglers, weapons sellers, war starters. They were not a species. They were a network that moved between empires like a disease. Elliot spoke slowly so every word landed. "Your prince was visiting Sector 9 in secret," he said. "He was meeting someone off record. He thought he could buy something that would make him the next Archon." Vark's face stiffened. "Lie." Maya watched Vark's eyes. He was angry, but not confused. "That was important," Elias continued. "The brokers offered him a weapon, a living weapon, a mind that could ride a ship like a body." Maya felt cold. Azrak said. "A parasite." Elias nodded. "Yes." Varkh's voice sounded like stone grinding. "Corvan was not weak." Elias's reply was quiet. He was young. For a moment, the station felt smaller. The fleet outside felt closer. Vark's guards shifted, waiting for an order. Then Vark asked the question that mattered. "If not you, then who?" Elias met his eyes. "The brokers killed him when he refused to pay the real price," Maya added, "or the parasite broke loose." Azrak's voice turned dark. "If a parasite is loose, it will seek a strong body." Mayas blood ran cold. "A fleet." Elias's tone sharpened. "Archon Vark, did you scan your ships when you jumped?" Vark hesitated. That was the answer. Maya heard it again. The laughter earlier. It had not been humor. It had been disbelief. The Cathari had brought a war fleet to a peace station, and they might have carried the real enemy inside their own hulls. Elias stepped forward. "Order your fleet to power down weapons and run full internal scans. Now." Vark's pride flared. "You do not command me." Azrak spoke, and the station lights dimmed slightly as if the dragon's attention pressed on the air. Azrak said. Vark's jaw tightened. He activated his wrist comm and spoke in his harsh tongue. Outside, several Cathari ships shifted again. Weapon ports began to close. Then one ship did not comply. It stayed aimed at the station. Its engines fled. Maya's sensors screamed. "Captain," she shouted. "That ship is charging." Elias did not move. Azrak. The space dragon outside moved faster than something that big should move. It glided toward the rogue ship like a shadow slipping over a candle. The ship fired. A beam of bright heat shot across space, straight at the peace ring. Mayas. Lungs froze. Then a wall of silver lights bloomed in front of the station. Not a shield plate, not a solid barrier, a swarm, thousands of human drones, each the size of a hand, moved as one and caught the beam like a net catching rain. The beam broke into fragments and died in glittering sparks. Maya stared. "We had that many drones ready?" Elias finally let a real smile show. We have more. The rogue ship shuddered. Its hull bulged in strange places, like something inside was trying to crawl out. Azrak's voice was low. There, the parasite. The ship's comes burst open. A new voice poured out, layered and wrong, like many mouths speaking at once. War is profit, it said. Fear is profit. Scream for me. Maya felt sick. The voice continued. Cathari will burn human. Human will build bigger guns. I will sell them the matches. Elias's face turned cold. Vietnam, the parasite voice laughed. Sharp and thin. Yes, it hissed. You laugh, too, little human. I like you, you understand. Maya's hands trembled. It's in their ship. How many ships? The answer came as the Cathari fleet began to shake. 1 ship, 2. 10 hulls bulged. Lights flickered. Ships broke formation. And the peace ring, the symbol of calm, sat in the center of a storm that had been hiding inside 1,000 years of silence. Vok watched his own fleet fracture. His face did not show fear now. It showed rage. But the rage was not aimed at humans anymore. It was aimed at the thing that had used his pride. Like a leash, he turned to Elias. You knew, Elias answered honestly. We suspected. That is why we laughed. You walked in here like you were holding all the power. He nodded toward the window, toward the broken fleet. You were holding a bomb. Vok's claws tightened. How do we cut it out? Elias looked at Maya. Show him. Maya opened a new file. Human countermeasure plans. Simple shapes. Simple steps. No fancy words. EMP nets, she said. Hard resets. Drone swarms to crawl the hull lines. We pull the parasite out by force. We cage it. We burn its signal. Vok stared. You can do that. Mahai met his eyes. We build tools. That's what we do. Azrak spoke, almost pleased. They build, they do not pray for saving, they make saving. The parasite voice screamed through the fleet channels again. No, it hissed. War first. War always. One infected Cathari ship turned and fired on another, trying to spread chaos. Faster. The peace ring shook as stray beams cut near its. Elias's voice turned sharp. All calm, Gongo. Defense grid, he ordered. Drones out. Net formation. Do not shoot to kill if you can avoid it. We need their ships intact. Maya blinked. Even now, Elias nodded. Even now, the Cathari are not the enemy today. Vok stared at him as if trying to understand a language he had never learned. You still show restraint, Vok said. After this, Elias looked tired. Archon, we do not protect peace by killing everyone who breaks it. We protect peace by removing the reason they break it. Outside, the drone swarm poured out like a silver river. They moved fast, latching onto infected ships, sliding into cracks, cutting signal paths, shocking control nodes, and the parasite voice shrieked and jumped between channels, trying to hide. Azrak moved like night itself, blocking infected ships from fleeing into deep space. The dragon did not burn them. It herded them, like a giant shepherd guiding a panicked herd. Maya watched human and Cathari ships start to work together, forced into cooperation by a threat that did not care about pride or blood law. Minutes felt like hours. One by one, infected ships went dark, then powered back on under their own control. The parasite's voice grew weaker. You need me, it hissed. You love war, Elias whispered, more to himself than anyone else. No, we love stories about winning. What stories about dying? Maya's screen flashed. Target isolated. A small signal node was detected on the first rogue ship, a hard point, near the engine spine. Maya looked at Vok. It's there. The core. Vok raised his wrist. Come. His voice cut through his fleet. All ships, he roared, hold fire. Human drones are friends. Anyone who shoots them will answer to me. Maya almost laughed again, but this time it was relief. This time it was because the impossible was happening. The Archon was listening. Elias spoke to Azrak. Can you pin the ship? Azrak's voice was steady. Yes. The space dragon drifted close to the rogue ship. Blue lines along its body brightened. The space around the ship tightened, like invisible hands closing. The ship stopped. Maya sent the final command. The drone swarms struck the engine spine and opened the small hatch by cutting bolts and peeling metal back like a lid dot inside. Something moved. It was not flesh. It was a black, shining mass, like oil with eyes. It tried to leap into the void. A human drone net snapped shut around it and shocked it with cold light. The parasite screamed. Its voice hit every channel at once, loud enough to hurt. You will be back here. It shrieked. Peace is a lie. Elias stepped closer to the window as if the parasite could see him. He spoke calmly, in simple words, like he was speaking to a bully in a schoolyard. Maybe, he said, but today, we are better liars than you are. The drone net dragged the parasite core into a sealed human containment pod. The screaming stopped. The silence fell over the peace ring. Outside, the Cathari fleet slowly reformed, smaller now, damaged but alive. Their weapons stayed closed. Their ships held position. Waiting, Archon Vark stood very still. Then slowly he lowered his head. It was not a full bow, not yet. But it was the first time Maya had ever seen a Cathari leader lower his pride in front of a human. He spoke, voice rough. The prince is gone, he said. My rage was used. Elias did not celebrate. He did not laugh now, he simply nodded. I'm sorry for your loss. Varkach's eyes narrowed, not in anger, but in thought. You could have let me attack. You could have let my fleet fall apart. Maya understood what he meant. Humans could have won a clean victory. They could have used the moment to break the Dominion, Elias answered. Then we would earn 1,000 years of new enemies. Vark was quiet for a long moment. Then he asked, why did you feed Azrak? Elias glanced up toward the dark shape outside. Because it was alone, he said, and because it was part of the peace. You cannot keep peace by ignoring the things that hold it together. Azrak spoke one last time, softer than before. Humans brought me music, it said. Humans brought me questions. Humans brought me silence that was not empty. Maya felt something tighten in her throat. In a universe full of empires, humans had won a battle without a grand speech, without a throne, without a crown. They had won it by being stubbornly human. Elias turned to Varkong. The peace can still stand, but not the old way. Not with secrets and pride and silence. Vark's jaw clenched. What do you demand? Elias shook his head. Not a demand, an offer. He pointed to the containment pod readout on Maya's screen. We take the parasite, we hunt the brokers together. We find out who spread this and we end it. After that, you can mourn your son without someone selling your grief. Varkh looked at the human faces around him. None of them were smiling now. None of them were laughing. They were steady. Vark finally lowered his head again, deeper this time. A bow. Not to a human king, not to a human god, to a choice. To a path that did not end in fire. Very well, Vark said. The Dominion will hunt. Maya exhaled for the first time in what felt like hours. Outside, the star dragon drifted away from the window and curled through space like a dark comet. The peace ring's calm voice returned, almost shy. Alert, level lowering, peace protocols resuming. Maya looked at Elias. So, the peace isn't over. Elias's mouth twitched, almost a smile. Oh, it's over, he said. Elia peace. The own built on fear and distance. He looked out at the fleet that had come to threaten them and now waited, humbled and awake. But, maybe, he added, we can build a better one. Maya nodded slowly. In the end, humans did not laugh because war was funny. Humans laughed because war was not the only story left to tell, and that, more than any weapon, was what terrified the universe.